Picture this. It's dusk over Philly. Dark, heavy storm clouds are just violently rolling across the skyline. You've got thunder echoing in the distance. You know that low, menacing rumble that vibrates right through the concrete, while sudden flashes of lightning violently illuminate the massive steel structure of Lincoln Financial Field. Thousands of football fans are packed tight into the stadium. They're waving flags, recording this absolute monster of a sky on their phones, sensing that something explosive is about to happen. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're not just looking at your standard football match, we're breaking down an epic collision between nature and pure human brilliance.
The scene on the ground was straight out of a movie. From the aerial views, the stadium literally looked like a fortress under siege. Heavy rain is just pouring down, soaking the pitch under these ultra-bright floodlights. You've got rain literally exploding off the grass, deeply concerned players staring up at the sky, and referees frantically waving for a stoppage. Down in the stands, fans are being urgently evacuated from their seats to find shelter. The atmosphere was impossibly tense. It was this ultimate man versus nature scenario, an apocalyptic sporting vibe with giant LED screens flashing severe weather warnings. The biggest tournament in the world, brought to an absolute standstill.
Okay, let's dive into part one. The Philadelphia Storm, a 2-hour freeze.
So, France was heavily favored against Iraq and firmly in control. But right as halftime approached, bam! At minute 40, a lightning strike is detected within an 8-mile radius. Now, under strict FIFA safety regulations, play has to be instantly suspended. That happened at minute 41. Nature obviously doesn't care at all about the World Cup schedule. But here is the grueling part, and this brilliantly illustrates the tension. Every single subsequent lightning strike resets a mandatory 30-minute safety clock. What everyone assumed would be a quick pause snowballed into an agonizing, suspense-filled wait of over 2 hours. Think about that. 2 hours of pacing in the locker room. 2 hours of cooling down. 2 hours of pure tension building up in that damp electric air.
Which brings us to part two. Enter the hurricane. Mbappé's return.
Eventually, the storm finally breaks. The rain slows down to a fine mist, and those massive stadium floodlights are just glowing against the saturated emerald grass. And then, out he walks. Kylian Mbappé emerging from the stadium tunnel like a hero stepping into the final act of a massive blockbuster movie. Completely focused, determined, the crowd just absolutely erupts. The dramatic tension in that stadium was palpable. France looked like they hadn't even left the field, and leading this incredible charge was, without a doubt, their undisputed superstar.
The whistle blows, the action resumes, and it is purely electric. Mbappé accelerates with this explosive speed, the ball looking like it's literally glued to his feet as he just tears past helpless defenders. And then bang, he unleashes a stunning, rocketing strike right past Iraq's goalkeeper Ahmed Basel. It was a beautiful finish, water spraying into the air off the mesh of the net. The stadium noise was absolutely deafening. And honestly, the craziest part of the whole sequence, he hit this absolute thunderbolt with his supposedly weaker left foot. I mean, come on.
But the hurricane wasn't done. Not by a long shot. Just minutes later, that relentless French pressure forces a crack. Iraq makes a costly defensive mistake, leading to some brilliant, quick passing. Ousmane Dembélé reacts the fastest, collects the loose ball, and perfectly finds Mbappé inside the box. With cold, calm precision, Mbappé just taps it home. Goal number 2 for the night. You could feel the history in the making vibe as his teammates swarmed him in celebration under those wet stadium lights. France was cruising, and Iraq had absolutely zero answers left.
Let's step back and look at the bigger picture. In part 3, Chasing Football Immortality, the record books.
So, the crucial point here, as the visceral thrill of those back-to-back goals settles, is the sheer historical weight of what we just witnessed. These weren't just 2 standard group stage goals. These were goals that ripped right through the fabric of football history. 16. With that second strike, Kylian Mbappé brought his career World Cup goal tally to an astonishing 16 goals. Just let that sink in for a second. 16 goals on the absolute biggest stage in global sports. Now, what's really interesting about this is the exact company he is keeping, and frankly, the company he's leaving behind. By hitting 16, Mbappé officially moved past the Brazilian icon Ronaldo Nazario, who sits at 15. He has perfectly matched the legendary German striker Miroslav Klose. And look who's sitting right at the very top, Lionel Messi with 18. Mbappé is a relentless force, and he is now breathing directly down the neck of the all-time record.
But you have to consider the context here. This wasn't just any game.
It was a night of pure milestones. This was Mbappe's 6th multi-goal game in World Cup history. That's a brand new record. It was his 100th appearance for the French national team. And here is the most terrifying fact for literally any defender out there. He's only 27 years old. Unlike Messi, whose legendary career is gracefully entering its final chapters, Mbappe is just now hitting his absolute peak. He isn't just a part of history anymore. He is actively destined to rewrite the whole thing.
Let's move to and see how this builds the overall team narrative in Part 4. France sends a message, looking ahead.
While Mbappé was naturally stealing the headlines, the rest of the team was operating like a well-oiled machine out there in the rain. Ousmane Dembélé, the guy who assisted Mbappe's second goal, stepped up and added a third goal of his own. And amazingly, that was his first ever goal in a World Cup. The final score, France 3, Iraq 0. This was way more than just a win. It was a massive, dominant statement victory for Didier Deschamps' side. They proved that no matter the 2-hour delay, no matter the apocalyptic weather, they are fiercely locked in. And that level of dominance maps out a very clear path forward. France has now officially secured their qualification for the knockout stages, bagging a perfect 6 points in 2 matches. They look every bit like reinvigorated tournament favorites. Step 2 is their final group clash against Norway, which is likely going to determine who takes the top spot in the group. And if they keep riding this momentum, well, Step 3 points to a massive, potential blockbuster showdown against Germany in the knockouts.
The weather truly did everything it possibly could to stop this match. Thunder delayed it, lightning interrupted it, relentless rain drenched it, but none of those natural forces could overshadow the sheer performance we witnessed. Picture this final image. Mbappé standing dead center of that rain-soaked field, arms raised in triumph as lightning illuminates the dark sky behind him. He didn't just survive the storm, he became the storm. And as he relentlessly chases down the all-time scoring record, it leaves us with one incredibly provocative question. If this is what he can do at 27, how many records will actually be left standing by the time he's done?